My story, my pain, my truth. Dear diary, if you're reading this, then I'm no longer here. Maybe for the first time in my life, people will finally listen to me. My name is Kimona. I am 18 years old, and this is my story. I wasn't born into love. From the day I can remember, my mother hated me. I never understood why. I used to watch her hug my brothers and sisters, buy them nice clothes, braid my sister's hair, and smile when they walked into a room. But when she looked at me, her eyes were always cold. Sometimes I would stand in front of the mirror and stare at my face, wondering what was so wrong with me. What made me different? Why wasn't I good enough? While my brothers and sisters went to school, I stayed home. Every morning before sunrise, I swept the yard, washed dishes, cleaned the house, cooked meals, and washed clothes. No matter how hard I worked, Mommy always found something to complain about. You're lazy. You're useless. You can't do anything right. Those words became part of my everyday life. Sometimes I cried myself to sleep, wishing she would come into my room and tell me she loved me. She never did. As the years passed, I became used to being invisible. I learned not to ask for new clothes. I learned not to ask for attention. I learned not to ask for love, because asking only made things worse. When I was 13 years old, Mommy married a man named Carlton. At first I was happy. I thought maybe having a husband would make her kinder. I thought maybe our family would finally be normal. I was wrong. One night changed everything. I remember lying in bed trying to sleep when I heard my bedroom door slowly open. My heart immediately started racing. Something inside me knew that something was wrong. That night stole something from me that I could never get back. The next morning, I gathered every bit of courage I had and told my mother what happened. I thought she would protect me. I thought she would believe me. I thought she would be my mother. Instead, she beat me until I could barely stand. "You lying little girl," she screamed. I tried to explain. I tried to tell her the truth, but she didn't care. By sunset, my clothes were outside. So was I. I remember sitting on the roadside with a small bag and tears running down my face. I kept asking myself one question: what did I do to deserve this? A friend from school took me in. At first, I thought my life was finally changing. Her parents were kind to me. They treated me like family, but their daughter became jealous. She thought her parents loved me more than they loved her. One day, I overheard her talking to some boys. The things they were planning terrified me. That night, I packed my things and ran away. I didn't even know where I was going. I just knew I couldn't stay. I walked for hours. My feet hurt. My stomach hurt. My heart hurt even more. Then I saw my Uncle David. To this day, I believe God placed him there for a reason. When he saw me, he immediately knew something was wrong. For the first time, someone asked me what happened and actually listened. He took me home, bought me clothes, bought me groceries, enrolled me in school. He called me his daughter. I remember crying in my room that night because I had never felt that kind of love before. For the first time in my life, I felt safe. For the first time, I felt wanted. For the first time, I felt like I mattered.
I cried many nights because I wasn't used to kindness. I remember writing in this diary, maybe this is what having a real parent feels like. For a little while, I was happy. For a little while, I believed my life was finally changing. Sure, then everything fell apart again. A friend of my uncle came to stay at the house. One night, after drinking heavily, he hurt me. I was scared, ashamed, confused. I didn't tell my uncle because I was terrified of losing the only home I had.
Months later, the same man tried to approach me again. This time I fought back. He became angry. A few days later, money went missing from the house. When it was found among my belongings, nobody questioned it. Nobody asked how it got there. Nobody listened when I said I was innocent. Not even Uncle David. The disappointment in his eyes hurt more than any insult. He told me I had to leave. I begged him. I cried. I promised I hadn't taken anything. But his decision was made. The one person I trusted no longer trusted me. And just like that, I lost another home. Instead, I told a teacher, I thought teachers protected children. Instead, my private pain became gossip. Teachers whispered, students stared. Rumors spread throughout the school. People laughed. People judged. People blamed me. Some even claimed I had made everything up. Every day became torture. I stopped feeling safe anywhere. Not at school. Not at home. Not inside my own mind. I returned to my mother's house. Nothing had changed. I slept on the floor. I was treated like a burden. I tried to save money by starting a small business. I dreamed of paying for school myself. Then my brother stole the money. When I told my mother, she defended him. She told me to stop complaining. The little hope I had left began disappearing. Soon afterward, my stepfather tried once again to hurt me. When I defended myself, he became violent. My mother came home and took his side without even asking what happened. I realized something painful that day. She was never going to choose me. No matter what happened, no matter how badly I was hurting, she was never going to choose me. A kind churchwoman named Miss Gloria eventually offered me a place to stay. She helped me enroll in a training program. She encouraged me, believed in me, supported me. For the first time in years, I could see a future. Then she died unexpectedly. Her relatives took over everything. Within days, I was homeless again. I had nowhere to go, nobody to call, nobody looking for me, nobody wondering whether I was safe. I started sleeping wherever I could. Bus stops, verandas, empty lots, abandoned buildings, anywhere that sheltered me from the rain. One night, while sleeping in an abandoned building, several men entered. What happened that night left me shattered. I felt broken in a way I cannot fully describe. I survived, but something inside me didn't. Weeks passed, then months. I became sick, tired, weak. Eventually, I learned I was pregnant. 2 months pregnant. I remember sitting alone with that news, staring at nothing, thinking about my entire life. Every rejection, every betrayal, every person who should have protected me but didn't. Every time I cried for help, every time nobody came. I thought about the child growing inside me, and I cried harder than I ever had before. Not because I hated the child, but because I loved that child enough to fear this cruel world. A world that had shown me so little kindness. A world where pain seemed endless. A world where I had spent my entire life feeling unwanted. I am tired. Not tired from walking. Not tired from working. Tired from hurting. I spent my whole life searching for love. I searched for it in my mother, in my family, in people who promised they cared. But every time I thought I found it, it disappeared. I wanted a chance to be happy. I wanted someone to choose me, just once. If you are reading this, please listen to children when they speak. Please protect those who cannot protect themselves. Please show kindness to people carrying invisible wounds, because sometimes the strongest smiles hide the deepest pain. My name is Kimona, and this is my diary. A few days later, Kimono's body was discovered beside the diary. The police officers who read her words sat in silence. Page after page revealed not one tragedy, but a lifetime of them. The diary eventually became evidence not only of what happened to Kimona, but of how many people had failed her. Questions were asked, investigations followed. Her mother was arrested along with her brother. Teachers were investigated. Her stepfather was arrested. The man who framed and assaulted her was eventually exposed and arrested, but none of it brought Kimona back. People who had ignored her pain were forced to confront it. A young woman's final testimony, a heartbreaking reminder that neglect, abuse, and indifference can leave wounds every bit as real as those we can see, and a reminder that sometimes the most important thing we can do for another person is listen, believe them, and let them know they are not alone.